I'm listing all the measurements and the supplies for this truck below, so make sure you check them out in the description. To make our bunny truck, we're going to start with 2 of the Happy Easter blue truck signs. You'll need the 1-inch wide craft sticks. I bought these at Walmart, but you can find smaller ones at the Dollar Tree. I'm using 2 wooden blocks, some of the black sticker letters. You'll need some acrylic paint. I'm using blue, black, white, and some brown. As accents, I'm using some buttons that I had on hand. You'll also need a cutter or a blade. The first thing to do is remove the hangers and the Happy Easter signs. Once that's done, you're going to remove the carrots from the back of the truck. Using your cutter, cut the outline of the truck. These signs are pretty thick, so you're going to have to use a little muscle. Continue working at it until the carrots separate from the truck. Once the first truck is complete, then do the exact same thing to the second truck. The next few steps are going to require measuring and cutting with your cutter. We're using pieces of the back of the Happy Easter sign to attach the 2 trucks together. You're going to measure and cut a 2-inch piece. You're then going to measure and cut 1 6-inch piece out of the sign. If your ends aren't perfect and they have a little bit of residue left over from the cutting, just use a piece of sandpaper and lightly sand the ends. Using your glue gun, we're now going to glue the 2 pieces together. I placed a bead of hot glue on the edge and attached the 2 pieces. Now with that complete, we're going to cut 2 1.5-inch pieces. With those 2 complete, we're now going to cut 1 additional 5-inch piece. We're now going to attach all the cut pieces to one side of the blue truck. Place hot glue on one side on the edge of the piece that you've already glued together. Then press it against the truck approximately 1 inch from the top. Once it's in place, add some additional glue on the very bottom to hold it together. Now place some hot glue on one of the 1.5-inch pieces. Then place it against the end piece. And once again, add a little hot glue to the back to help hold it in place. We're now adding some hot glue to the edges of our 5-inch piece. Place the short side against the 1.5-inch piece. To help shore it up, I'm adding some hot glue to the bottom and the side. To finish the bed of the truck, we're adding the last 1.5-inch piece. Once again, place some hot glue on the edge and the side and then press it against the truck. Then add a little hot glue to the back. We're now going to make the roof, hood, and bed with the craft sticks. They are pretty thin, so I'm just using my scissors to cut off the rounded end. I'm going to measure and cut 4 craft sticks in 6-inch pieces. If the ends are rough, just use your sandpaper and smooth them out. We're going to split 2 of the sticks in half. Using your ruler, measure 1/2 an inch, cut down one side and then the other so you have 2 pieces. If the edges are rough, use your sandpaper to smooth them out. When you're done, you'll have 4 6 by 1/2-inch pieces. We're now cutting 3 3-inch pieces. Again, cut 2 of the 3-inch pieces in half. I'm softening up this golden brown color with a little white. All these pieces are for the truck bed. Once I mixed the color that I liked, I then painted all pieces and both sides. When the pieces were dry, I used a pencil and I put 2 little circles on the end of each board. This is completely optional. I thought it added a little character to the back of the truck. Using your glue gun, all you're going to do is run a bead of glue along the side of the truck, just covering the bunny's feet. Now place one of your 6-inch planks onto the side. Once you've done this for the first truck, do the exact same thing for the other. On the underside of one of the 1/2-inch planks, place a dab of hot glue. Place this near the top on the outside part of the truck. Hold it in place until it sets up. We're now going to follow the exact same instructions and attach the second piece. Once again, holding it in place till it sets up. Follow the exact same instructions for the other truck. Now with the sides complete, we can attach both pieces together. Run a heavy bead of glue on the outside frame of the truck. Line the trucks up and then bring both pieces together. Hold it in place until it sets up. I'm using both of these 3-inch pieces as supports for the side rails. Using my hot glue, I attached all 4 pieces together. And once again, after doing it on one side, I did the exact same thing on the other. To finish up the back, we're going to start by adding the full 3-inch piece. Once again, I'm adding some hot glue and then just placing the 3-inch piece to cover the back. I'm placing hot glue on the ends of the 2 1/2-inch pieces and then placing them against the side rails. To finish up, we're adding the last top piece. To cover the body, you're going to need 12 3-inch pieces. 3 of those pieces you will cut in half. Once cut, you're going to paint them all, front and back. I'm using the color Sailing Sky, and this is almost a perfect match to the truck. Once the pieces were painted, I then painted the inside of the truck. It's time to cover the outside of the truck, and we're going to use our painted pieces. I'm attaching one of the 1/2-inch pieces on the back. And now I'm attaching 3 of the full 3-inch pieces. Make sure once you place your hot glue down that you press the pieces tightly together. I'm leaving an opening for the windshield, so I'm placing one of the 1/2-inch pieces at the bottom. We're then adding 3 3-inch pieces to cover the hood. I'm attaching 3 of the 1/2-inch pieces to give the hood a rounded look. The first piece I glued across, and the second piece will sit on the little shelf. I'm attaching the third piece, and that will cover the one sitting on the shelf. I'm attaching 2 3-inch pieces to finish the front. And to complete the hood, I'm adding 1 3-inch piece to cover the 2 1/2-inch pieces and give the truck a more uniform look. There are a lot of pieces involved, and I have all the measurements listed below in my description. I'm using a piece of sandpaper to just file down the edges a little bit on the truck and kind of smooth them out. I wanted to cover the 2 little holes on the front, so I cut a thin straight piece and a rounded piece from one of the leftover craft sticks. I did some touch-up painting on the truck, and then I painted the 2 small pieces. Once they were dry, I used my glue gun to attach them. To hide the hole on the door left by the hang tag, I'm adding a little sliver of wood from the craft stick. I simply just pushed it through the hole, and then using my paint, I covered it up. The dry paint held it in place. To cover the hang tag holes in the tires, I'm doing the exact same thing, but this time I'm using black paint. To give the truck a little bling, I'm adding on some accent buttons. I'm hot gluing 2 in the center of the tires to look like rims, and then 2 on the front to look like headlights. I'm using 2 of the wooden blocks to make license plates for the truck. There's not a whole lot of room, so I came up with the word egg. I attached 1 to the front and then 1 to the back. To complete the project, I used some of my blue paint and painted the back. Now your little blue truck is ready for Easter. If you're looking to make some carrots this Easter, in one of my older videos, I made 5 different styles of carrots out of Dollar Tree supplies. I'll link that above in case you want to check it out. Thanks for hanging out with me. You know I have a blast every time we're together. And if you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody!